Alright, we got coffee and we're back. That's all ghosted down. We just moved that. Definitely didn't forget to record. Have another sip of coffee for good measure. I feel like that's probably a bit of a design flaw on the part of that whole build. Is that unplugging one power pole kills the entire build. That's what happens when you use medium power poles though. It just kills the dream. Just can't do anything with them. Alright, so that's silos so far. How was that looking? It still needs undergrounds, beacons, and modules, so that's going to be a little while. Yes, the meme dream. The meme dream team. Well, that's going on. The next lot of... So I was gonna make science just keep on progressing along here. Just one big longness of Longington. All of the long. So... I'm at it. Low density. 12,000. Actually, it's not 12,000. It is something. 6595. Rounded up 6596. Best thing about recorded videos is that you can play it at 2 times speed, and it's also in 1440. Streams are only in 900. Not that anyone really notices. Although there's a few people that complain, why isn't it 1080? 1080 bad, 1080 good, less than 1080 bad. Yeah, there's a whole lot of technical reasons why that's not true. Also, hi Penguin. Is the air reversal camera filter is not working again? Yeah. So next one here is that. Then somewhere along here is that. And somewhere along here is that. And then that. And then that. And then that. And that's science. Easy. That's how you do science. All done. Excellent. We're done with this map. We don't need to do anything more. Science is done. I just plotted out on the map. Can now do something else. Have I played Eco? No, I haven't actually. From what I understand, it's kind of Minecrafty. There's that whole asteroid thing, and there's a whole pollution management angle to it. I don't know if it's any good. Got to place space. Right. Here we go. All done forever now. Hey, look, media. Yep, Bob's your uncle, and the series is done. You do, yeah. For what I've seen of other people playing it, where it's only like 2 or 3 people, 2, 3, 4 people, it's just a pain to play. So somewhere out there is greens. Alright, so next one is you. The robo frames. This also needs more low density. It actually needs the same amount of low density. So I need to... Oh, I thought it looked a little narrow. Oh dear. This is going to be a wide one. I might just air gap it though. another one. It's an even wider build. It's just all of the wide. The classic now double it. That is quite literally just double it. Because, yeah, I need that. So I need 12,300 total. And both of them, both the silo and the high tech, need 5785, not counting satellites. So technically it's that. So technically, this one's one row shorter, but I'm just going to do the same for both. That's a lot of build. Pop that there. But then these things can comfortably overlap. Ish. Probably not going to see power though. Apparently I'm getting good at this whole putting power poles in the middle. Except for that one. There we go. So that'll keep it out of trouble for a little while. Also that means that's actually there. That's going to be building for a very long time. Not for Shadowin. What is this gigantic build? This is low density structure. So we just started on, or we just finished rocket control units for the silos. We've started doing low density structure for silos and low density structures for utility science. And so, yeah. What are we up to? 8. 8/19ths of the low density build. Yeah, that's a lot of low density there. Be up to. Game update still at 3. I mean, none of it's really running. It's also slightly concerning that I'm up to 10 gigawatts of power. And considering that I'm barely really doing anything. So much going on. So what you get when you go full, it's what you get when you go full beacons. You just get all of the build, whether you like it or not. Now we got to do some more of this fun business with the spreadsheets and junk. I'll come back over to here. So 8,100, 122. Are you? What are you? You're 21 by 3. I think it's safe to clear these now. So you output 3. I think the most you input is like 3. Yeah, 3 low density, 2 of that. 3, 5.5, 21. 21 was it? 21. For some reason I think it's 24, but I think blue was 24. for some reason. Yeah, blue's 2 by 24. Because apparently we can't have blue craft fast. 1.4, 416 is a little bit high. I don't think we need 27,000 of it. Let's say 122. 124, 8,100 right there. But it's not divisible by 8. 128, however, is. So 8 by 16s makes what we want. Now, it's actually a pretty convenient number. I mean, it's a little bit of an overbuild, but that's fine. It means we have 60,000? Right? Can't be right. Am I reading wrong? 6,000. Yes, I am reading wrong. I was looking to say, that's alright. And 20,000 or 2,000 robo frames. 20,000. God damn it. Now it's tainted forever. And so that makes it a 16 long build. Means each build does 1,000 a minute, of course, or 1,000 and a bit. So, I mean, that makes each input pretty easy. I think that's, hang on a minute, right? I feel like that's not 0.18 of a belt. I feel like that should be more. Oh, okay. So at least, I have no idea what that is. 103.1. Should stop doing that. Keep adding like random little bits of calculation. I might need to relay out this whole spreadsheet at some point. It's just a scratch pad, this thing. It was meant to be something formal, but it never ended up paying out. So it's just the same thing, same calculator part repeated several times. Input and outputs. I should formalize it. I mean, there is this thing as well. No, this thing. That one? Right, surely. I think that's the old one. I think that was me attempting to do that. There's an old one. This is the one we're working on. That's the old base. That's the really old base. That's all of the old. There it is, oil calculator. That's the one I redid. That's the sheet, and that's the original oil calculator. That one can actually get deleted. Where you can do how much SPM you want. The base number for train length. It tells you the numbers you need to build for the whole factory. Yeah, that means I need to do like almost an access database. Like, because then I need to keep track of all of the ingredients, and there's a lot of custom mapping that needed to be done. Anyway, moving swiftly along. Don't need you anymore. I'm interested in you. And you. So, we know we need 8 16s, and 16 rows of 8, which is perfectly achievable with an 8-8 beacon build. So we're going to go back to 8-8s for these. And then on top of that, your NT 1.4. So, what was that? 83. Eighty. 80. Yeah, 80 then 96. So 96. 96. God damn it. 96. 88. What did the calculator say? 83. So 11 of those. So 11 per 16. I'm just wondering if I can one-to-one it. Probably not in my best interest because these each require quite a lot of stuff. RoboFrames might be an external job. Because of the volume of acid that it needs. I might do the batteries and the RoboFrames at the same time, at the same place, at the same time. Yeah, batteries, engines. So it needs quite a bit of supply. I mean, I got the room here to do it. Alright. There we go. I mean, I could do it down here as well. In fact, I probably would be in my best interest to do it down here. Some supplemental builds. Batteries and bots and such. Bot frames. So I could use those in to make everything. So... give it a space of 8. Like that's the build. That is actually the build. Damn it. Still messed it. Even after all that, I still messed it up. And then it's repeated 8 times. And then goes on to purple. That train looking. The wire's not connected, are you? Is you? Connected? Falling for all that. Yeah, it's connected. Oh, you're stuck. It's calling for like assembly machines. It's not getting them. There's a lot of things it's not getting. Is it... Remember that thing I looked at earlier, which we're kind of ignoring? Turns out it's become a problem. They fix that. Past paging present. Supply train looks different? How do you mean? Well, I have 2 of the outpost ones now. I did some experiments with 2. So the outpost one you can have multiples. This, as long as you have roll in, roll on everywhere. This one you can't have multiple. Bye train. On the base? Because I did change the supply train controller as well. I also need to update the blueprint on this because these didn't blueprint properly. The combinators didn't blueprint properly. I think I mentioned that last time. When I posted the book, I copied these and put them in the book, and then for some reason the combinators lost like most of their settings. I've mentioned that's happened before, and it happens fairly frequently. Yeah, I changed the controller so it's a single stop now, and it's able to pull stuff out. A lot of that is because I know a little bit more, a few more tricks with combinators, and also there's a few more features available that weren't available before that I can make use of. So I don't need the first unload stop. I still need to change it. I'm thinking about, instead of having a timeout on it, I do the timeouts for the train in circuit. That way the timer doesn't expire, and then as soon as a request comes, like if the train's sitting there waiting, idling, no request, and it has a timer on it, and then a request comes in after 120 seconds has passed, as soon as the request comes in, it's going to instantly time out because the timer's already elapsed, and then it'll just shoot off and instead of actually loading up, which is not really an ideal situation. At some point I should really actually build this properly too. It's sort of been on the future me problem pile. Happens on your base as well? Yeah, if it's sitting there, it times out before it actually does the first request. The old one, when it had the 2 stops, was pretty bad at it. That's why I was always a bit reluctant to release that one. Nope. Trains are just getting a little comfortable with a little too friendly with each other. I don't know why I click and drag that. I mean, the reason why I'm stalling on is when I do fix this place properly, I need to demolish these builds. I need to drain them out, demolish them, and rebuild them to reset all their productivity. Why did I want to do that? Not gonna lie, kinda don't want to do it. Nice to be on a diagonal. How many trains are there? 3, 6, 9, 10. Yeah, I'll just do this. I'll make it work. There's not many. This one's the plastic copper train. There's not many of those. Fortunately. The other thing I can do is eliminate that. There. Hello, train. Hang on, didn't know this. It didn't? Oh dear. Oh, you can start up now. I mean, it gives everyone... Oop, hello train. I was worried I was standing on the tracks then. Yeah, just a little hump in the track. Fine. See? The signal come on, it's like, uh-oh. I'm in danger. Yep. Which lane is the train gonna take? The trouble now is that now they've got multiple paths, they'll really start whipping in. Like they mean to murder me. This is when we really get to test to see if he Shred Guy's manly war cry. Well, fix the problem anyway. Alright. That should be that place fixed forever. Well, until the next time until I need to actually build it. Let's sit up properly as well. I'm the worst at not sitting up straight. Oh, hi bots, giving me all the stuff. Cuts off the top of the head. Framing much? I think the camera's dropped a little. There. Tripod's terrible. For a Manfrotto tripod, it's a terrible tripod. It's the worst piece of junk. It's a good thing I didn't pay for it. It'd be the worst if I actually had to pay for that thing, because I think that's actually like a $130 tripod or something like that. It's more than $100, I'm pretty sure. Somehow I ended up with it. It's actually a friend of mine. I don't know. Somehow I ended up with it, and I never asked for it back. Probably because it is a piece of junk. I don't remember how I ended up with it. It's looking real thin. I wonder. Alright, I think the base is busy again. Hello, bot swarm. I think I might unplug this and actually use that. So honest. Things people give them, you actually give them back. That's the thing, I don't know how I got it. Like, I just ended up with it somehow one day. I didn't even really know I had it. Like, it wasn't something I needed to borrow. At the time, I never really like, this is the first time I've ever needed the tripod. I've never needed a tripod until I set the camera up. Actually, Penguin, now that you're here, I'm starting to think that I'm once again starting to really need a an audio interface. But I need something which gives multiple tracks to the system. Once again. Did I miss it? I did miss it. Actually, I did see it, but then I forgot. So yes, I do owe you a stare. So, let us indulge in a stare. No using VACs? From what I remember, you used to be able to get like audio interfaces where each channel was like an audio device in the system. Like, and none of them do that anymore. Anyway, where's the button? There it is. Ah, I can't do it. That really hurt my eyes that time. You stare into the void too long. Not really, yeah. I think I mentioned it before. There used to be all the time. You see them all the time on eBay with these fire pods, which were 10 in, 10 outs, and it actually had like 10 I/O channels that you could manipulate. I guess I could do the makes a mark that comes with really cool VAC. I've heard of that thing. I'm not convinced on it though. I think what's it called? There's a thing. The thing which has like the sound stuff in it and the bleeping and all that. I can't think what it's called. That was actually a really cool interface as well. That's what it's doing when building all the circuits. Go XLR, that's it, yep. That one's actually got a really good feature set. But it's, don't think it has what I want. Problem is I need like 5 or 6 actual inputs. Maybe not 5, maybe 4. And then MIDI. Artifuge coming on in with that follow. For MIDI reasons. The trouble is MIDI itself has its own feedback. I have a few MIDI devices. I don't have a MT32 or one of those. I have a sound canvas though. For the DOS game needs. How are you? Stop progressing. Those were great. My music producer friend loves them. He said those were the, like, top shelf items, and they are really good. Like the samples that are in them for what they are, for general MIDI, they're pretty amazing. Like the sound, things like guitar still sounds a little wonky, but it's very convincing for what it for mid 90s. PCM sampling, it's phenomenal. Zarkon, your initial base need more copper throughput. Yeah, when you start building red circuits, you start chasing large quantities of copper. The only way for it is just to build more smelting, build more mining. Just keep on throwing more smelting and mining at it. And then when you get to blue circuits, yeah, about that. It's just even more smelting, even more mining. It's nuts. Yeah. Ultimately, when you're stuck on something, it always comes down to just a lot of mining and smelting. I forgot what I was going to do. And I can't really do more science because I'm short on the materials to actually make it. Maybe I should actually... Maybe it's a sign that I should actually do the... where are you at? There. Maybe it's a sign that I should actually start fixing up the circuits. Or maybe even make a start on the final smelter. Yeah, it means you need to build bigger. Pretty much. More clear biters. I might need to clear biters. Pollution here is pretty impressive given that it's not really even running yet. Yeah, once you get into red circuits, which is the mid-game, yeah, as I say, it starts getting crazy. Delay time 0. That's funny. I don't think I've ever seen that name before. Just thinking. best to spend time. As I say, like I can't do much more there because it just needs to grow. Maybe I could look at doing oil. Finish oil. I could finish circuits. I love how there's just so many builds that are half done but not actually. None of them are finished. Oh, I did spot something with this. The inputs cross the outputs on this circuit line. So they come in on the inside, or they come in on here, and then go out there, which the circuits isn't so bad, but it means the output circuit trains do cross each other's path. They'd have to cross here. And then the outputs, because these come in the top and out the bottom, it means the output crosses the input. So I might need to turn these around or something. Which isn't really helpful because given the size of it, I was thinking about having the stacker in the middle and spreading out left and right. That's mildly inconvenient. The other thing is the plastic copper, I need to flip that, bring this to the left. That way the final one is closer to here and the plastic copper one pushes more over that way. Then I can have the iron copper one in the center of the entire build, and then the plastic copper will be offset slightly because they'll be the center of these. 5, 6, 7, so it'll be, the plastic copper will come down there. There hopefully should be enough room because this is about the center already. I think I got it right. So it'll come down there, and rip, and rip, and then outputs down there. And then I got to figure out how to cross them without causing too much drama. Make it all merge together. It's going to be a lot of trains moving around. There's already quite, because the plate train's already getting pretty busy. 3k a minute. That's all this startup can do. How are you doing? Okay, you're underway again. Very good. Actually, you know what? Since I talked about it, okay. We want 1, 2, 3, I think. Go with 2. Crap. So what I want, okay, let's start with what I want. What I really, really want. What I want is the T signal. Lowest number of inputs and outputs. MasterChef Australia, Combinator Edition. So what do I need? I think the biggest problem I've had is I don't quantify what I need. What I really want is to be able to have tactile control over all of the channels. Because I want to be able to record I want to be able to isolate music, Discord and all that, which starts to sound like a voice meter banana type problem. But also more like, currently I'm using, what was it, it's the front panel microphone for the microphone. The line out is game and Discord and all that. Line in, so going by the inputs, line in one is, line in is the bot that does stuff like exclamation mark honk. Digital in, the optical, is doing the music. So that's 3. So really I'd need 4 total. Because I want a 4th for anything external like MIDI or whatever. Just as a spare. You know, just a little bit of room for expansion. That way I don't just match the needs. Yeah, so basically 4 plus MIDI, but also being able to keep those channels isolated within the system, within the sound control panel. Because that's how I have it now. So I have, what do I have right now? 5 channels, because there's also the capture card, but it's muted. That way you don't hear the camera's microphone. Because that camera microphone's terrible. I actually thought about using before sticking with this thing, I thought about using a camera microphone. A dedicated microphone on the camera, that is. That one's separate anyway, because that's capture over HDMI, so the mixer would have no control over that. Yeah, what I really need is like four in... It's kind of like, realistically, it's like a 4 in, 4 out plus MIDI. $5 USB sound cards. 1K SPM? Yeah, it is. 1K is, like, first time 1K is actually pretty challenging. What about using voice meter? I'm not a fan of software audio solutions. They tend to be... Oh. Hang on. Hang on a tickle. Started typing into the wrong one. You can just have reg. You can have eternal permissions. Behringer. Are Behringer good now? I always knew them as garbage. UMC 404. I mean, it gives you in little controls. 192. What do they say in terms of price? I don't. Kind of makes sense. And Midas. Oh, that's a bad sound. You mind? Alright, where's Spider Squad? Oh, I left some behind, didn't I? I think we know what we're doing now. Spider Squad, advance. Yeah, I think I know what we're doing now. I got bought by Midas, which is leader in preamps. I'm kind of curious to what Midas does in terms of preamps. I've always wondered. That 404 HD and... Oh, it's the same link. Now, before I forget, 2 of them. Pop those in there. And let's go. Grrr. Actually, I know which train I need. It's got 9,000, that should do it nicely. Which one is it? Place 3. Spider over there yet? Still coming. Simple, really good sound. Lost. Oh, no, good. Yeah. Very rude of him. That is. Hang on. I don't know if you can see that. There. There. It's kind of tethered at the minute. Boop, boop. Some old classics. Focusrite. Yeah, that one, I don't know when I got that. That's also not mine as well, that Focusrite. That's why, it's also Firewire, that's why, well, it kind of works. It has issues though. I think it might be the Firewire cable that I'm using. It's got a broken wire in it somewhere. It has a tendency to drop out. Focusrite used to be amazing though. Do you get an interface? You have to move to an XLR headset. You won't be able to connect. Yeah. It means just you go down that rabbit hole. Second artillery train and connecting them? I mean, I could make it bigger. And make this one into one mega train. Right, let's also do the backwards roll like that. Yeah. It's probably better go forwards because they run backwards. Yeah, just obliterate. Even the trees get obliterated around here. Terminate with extreme prejudice, I believe is the term. I mean, it's overkill for the pollution cloud, but there's no kill like overkill. Just cuts the biters there in half. And just blow up the entire island. Think they're dead? Oh dear. And just one boop to end it all. What is it? Shells a minute? Yes. That sound. As I say, there's no kill quite like overkill. I don't actually know what the production of shells is a minute, but it's certainly a lot slower than the rate at which I consume them. I have to deal with those. The artillery, of course. Oh, one of them's already empty. That's a shame. Right, please don't move, please don't move, please don't move, please don't move, please don't move. That's what buffers for it is, yes. Ah, they moved. I got a few at least. Let's do a bit of explore. Exploratory barrage. Hey, CRV. Click that fast. You just change the map pan to a different button. I have map pan on right mouse button. You can also just assign it to the fire artillery to a different button as well. To give it a different secondary. Oh, 3 of them are empty now. Did you hear something? I think a lot of them found their way down here. But well, I'm doing pretty good. Out of range. Yes, how you doing? There. Dead. Alright. Let's start up the next wave. Right about here. Hopefully I'm zoomed in enough, I am. Yeah, going forward or pushing front to back seems to be better. Spiders are getting their reprisal attacks. They're being punished for damaging the smelter, the steel smelter. If you're wondering. They attack my smelter, so I obliterate everything within range. I like how their frame rate's taken a bit of a dump. Ah, made a move. Well, I might get a few out of it. No, bad biters. Bad biters are bad. I got a few of them. What? It was inevitable that a few biters would stray up there. That's why I parked the spiders here. That means... where was that there? That means that is hitting biters up there now. Right, time for the big one. At this point it would be a lot easier with actual range research done. Just paint the whole area red. Explode the whole area. We kill all these too. A retreat! A retreat for you. I think it's only, yeah, there's only 27 guns left firing. Almost out. I mean, given the amount of time it took for them to actually fire, to load in the first place, Range 5 last night. So far. Yeah, that's true. I think I got in one of the maps. I got up to range 10 or 12. It starts getting a bit silly then. I think it was on the 12k map. I got it pretty far up. Yeah. See, they're falling. They just don't have the strength in numbers anymore. Don't have the volume. It's a handful can dump so many. Oh yeah, that's something I never invest in is artillery speed. Shooting speed. Yeah, it's out of ammo. Bye. Apparently. Probably should stay in the general area though. I dare not step out in the coil. That would be suicide. Now I can step out. Because those biters are going to come up here. One way or another. Yeah. Even with enough speed, even one cannon can deliver pretty decent damage. I wonder how far you can pump up speed to the point where one cannon will do the work of 20. That'd be an interesting thing to find out. Hi, biters. Let's not wildly press tab space here. Pharaoh, hey! Here for a little bit. Thought you'd say hi? Hi! What do we got here? Wormy worm. A dead wormy worm. Where was it? Over there. Still the 10k? This is, yeah, or the 8k map, this one. Yeah, it's still the same map. It's a lot of biters. I have a bit of a problem here. I mean, it's slowly thinning out. I can't seem to really outrun them because I don't have enough leggies. Uh-oh, that's bad. That's very bad. I guess I really don't have enough leggies. Just a few days. How much did it improve? Also, nukes are hella bright. They are. Well, that's embarrassing. Huh. I'm gonna meet you down there. I think that suit needs less PLD, more legs to run. Because I wasn't outrunning the biters. And that's something that I like to have. Especially when nuking. You really want to be able to outrun nukes. Kind of nice thing to have. So how much you gained? 1.2k. What are you missing? These things, which are missing plastic. Oh, it's because I stopped the train again. Because it was overloading with plastic. I see how it is. So what have we got over the last few days? We have our science build started, so we have our labs up and running. We have our 4 banker sandwiches of labs. We have the trains for them. We have a switchamajig to distribute them across each of the labs, the trains across each of the labs. In turn, the beginning of silos, we have maybe a little bit quicker. Yeah, beginning of silos. That's 8 out of 16 silos. Those are being fed by rocket control units here. This is the rocket control unit build. Next to it is the low density structure build. Then the other half of the low density structure build. Me panning across this is a bad idea too, because it cancels stuff. And Bradworth converting that Prime Gaming sub. I don't know what that is, into a tier 1 sub. Thank you very much for that. Throwing down that. I think that's a September thing. Using circuit to split the trains into stackers. Yeah, so what I've done is I've made a sequencer. So as each train goes into one, it steps down to the second, it lets it into the second one, then the third one, then the fourth one, then back to the first one. So the trains, each time a science pack train goes into a lab, it goes into a specific one. So they're told to go 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4. That way they don't favour one set of labs over another. In the scheme of things, it probably doesn't matter. But at least helps with the distribution a little bit. This one seems to be behind it. Oh. How did that happen? It's that time again. Do want radars. How did I get... Oh. God damn it. I wasn't paying attention. Didn't miss much from the power issue? So last time there was a power issue, I built this entire column. That's the thing that's stupid. I built that entire column to deal with power, and now I'm building another column. That'll probably be the last column that I build. And I'll start extending down from there. Paying attention. Yeah, so I wasn't paying attention and I came all the way back. Look at that green water. There. Blue, blue, green. Blue, green. This time power will be more than enough. I never need to expand power again. Yeah, you believe it. What I'll start doing is extending it down next time. So I'll get my I was aiming for a row of 4, and then after that it's going to go down. So what, that's 16. Another 4 down is 32 gigawatts. Should be getting pretty close to what's needed, what the limit is. Right, this time let's actually get out of the train before it leaves. Grab me spider. Hopefully this one spider's enough. Out there, wasn't it? I mean, this thing should have a complement of rockets, so it should be able to take care of itself. Worst case scenario... Oh, I can't actually... I can. Bring these 2 down. Which admittedly in the time I allotted I probably could have. The long columns... Yeah, that's smelting. So that's iron smelting plus steel, and that's just copper. Don't even have stone yet. Don't even have stone smelting in. Some would say it's kind of stupid. I don't know where I'm going to put stone smelting. What I was going to do was have the ore trains on the bottom. Ore trains come up, down, and down. And then the plate trains come down and up, down, up, down, up. Suppose I could have stone in the middle, about here. I could have... I could actually find my body. This is a good argument for the death markers mod. I really don't remember where it was. Playing the find the body game though. Does the body have a hitbox? Yeah. Yeah, it's still not a vanilla feature, unfortunately. There it is. I was actually really lucky. That's the one I want. And that. Can you deconstruct? No, you can't. I think you used to be able to, but you can't anymore. Maybe doing it in a spider is probably a better idea. I mean, I'm a lot more agile and mobile in one of these. Pick up items on ground. Might work. I need to test it one day to know for sure. Uh-oh. That was a little close. Oh, that was definitely close. I like how the behemoths just shrug off the nuke. There we go. I'm shrugging that one off. I might like the firepower to really take these on. Truly, truly take these on. Ooh, water. Just need to watch the health too. Oh, new graphics. Did the game more? Well, they always wanted the nukes to be more impressive than what they were. And apparently there was always a placeholder too. Oh crap. Stop! No! You stupido. I forgot to untick with our gunner. God damn it. It's your own fault, you stupid spider. Meh. Yeah. As soon as I saw the first rocket go, I was like, oh, I didn't mean that. Shouldn't leave spiders in charge of nukes. It never goes well. Alright, you come up there. While we're at it, extend the robo network. Let's place nukes in a slot field with normal rockets. Ended up auto shooting when went into combat. Decides to just change over on you. I feel like these bots might take a while to notice. Yeah, sure, it was fine. Not like there's 11 billion things to construct that it's waiting on. Have? It does. I mean, that's the obvious sanity checks, just to make sure it actually has the stuff. You're back? Hi, back. I'm Mojo. I am also a koala. Happy with the progress on this thing. Doing well for itself. Nuclear. Ah, they did place it. Oh, and I'm almost there. How's power still? Yeah, 12 out of 20. 21. Seems like a little low. I need to drain that out as well before anyone says anything about it. '63? I mean, yeah, it's not going to use that many construction mods in the scheme of things, but at the same time, it's not a lot of bots. Probably a bunch of them found their way out of the network. That's plenty. 200-ish is a good number. A fishy right there. Can't have that. And a fish going unmined. So it helps to equip the right one. First round power always goes bad. How did you know? Don't murder the fishies, please, bots. I'll be quite fine. No more landfill for you, bots. I guess I can't even have it in my hands. No more landfill till you eat all the fish. Right, now you can have a landfill again. It's funny how much you put the fishes. Gotta maintain my standards. You know what's funny is, this lake here, I picked up about 8,000 fish when I was filling that in. Bots, I have a problem with this. I have a serious issue with this, not of killing fish with landfill. Yeah, you gotta keep the Spidertron brains going. Alright, let's feed the bots some fishies. And landfill. Seeing as I went to the trouble of bringing it here. So I thought for Megabases everyone went to solid because it was much more efficient. Did they fix nuclear transfer? No. But you can optimize nuclear builds to the point where they're pretty efficient. I'll probably end up transitioning over, or supplementing it with solar. It's also interesting to see how much it does take up. I think this thing will eat about 7 UPS. 7? Yeah, about 7. Like, I'll gain 7, maybe a bit more. Now, boss, we talked about this murdering fish with landfill. No power, no electricity for you until you make up for murdering the fish. Still run a bunch of accumulators for lasers. That doesn't really do anything. One of those things where you either so yeah, the way power works is you either have enough or you don't have enough. It's fairly binary. This it's something that isn't really obvious until you really there's some hardcore figuring out calculation to figure it out. Did actually wonder about that for a long time. Fish are friends, not AI cores. It's the same logic behind things like Steam storage. It's you either have enough or you don't. And the reasoning behind that is that the fuel starts off as one form of energy, whether it be coal, uranium, wood, whatever you burn, to turn into energy. And so if you're putting it into accumulators or steam tanks, that's the same as it's just what you're doing is you're turning that coal into energy to be spent later. And what that effectively means is it's somewhat of an unnecessary step because you might as well, instead of burning the fuel to turn it into another form of energy, which is like steam, to be used later, instead you just burn it to use it on demand. And so you've saved a step. That makes sense. Similar thing with like accumulators for laser storage. Accumulators for storing energy for lasers is if you can't power the lasers when they're shooting, eventually you're going to be in a deficit. Which means that you're still in a deficit. Or you're in an overall deficit. Yeah, they can supply until they're empty. The theory is that the lasers, they don't need to shoot all the time, but compared to what lasers need to shoot all the time compared to what lasers need continuously, because they have a continuous drain, which is not insignificant. And so it works out that if you need the accumulators to soak up the laser shooting, that means your power is already very marginal already. Meaning that it wouldn't take much to push it into a net deficit. Okay. Actually expand out further. Another argument, I guess, is you can stamp down another 1.2 gigawatt accumulator, so do nothing, not solar. Yeah, it's not worth it for the most part. Because as I say, the way I see it is you're just turning one form of energy into another form of energy waiting to be consumed. Where instead of just consuming what you need on demand, you're sort of doing a bit of you're moving numbers around. It's not but not actually changing anything. Yeah, it's the same as any other buffer in the game. You might as well just cut it out. And for megabasing, that's significant too because that's essentially a UPS drain that you don't need. Yeah, for the Steam, it's more UPS, but yeah, for accumulators, you're already borderline. You're already so close to being pushed over the edge that you're fixing the problem by trying to hide the the warning light. Okay. I was thinking about making this all insert at the same time. Can only hold back feedback for so long. Yeah, eventually you'll hit that feedback loop. The root loop. This is definitely the last one. Yeah. There's an unnecessary conversion since they're a capacitor and a function. They are the most UPS efficient energy storage, admittedly. So if you want to store energy, like instead of a steam, like if you have to store energy, you'd use an accumulator. You wouldn't use steam. Eh? Don't they all act as one big entity? Or almost. Because they do have their own unique charge state. They, in terms of electric network, they're all one entity. Well, solar is actually. I know that for sure. Don't know about Five Cliffs. Yes, I do. Oh yeah, nice. There be a plateau. There goes a plateau. Like, it's not an insignificant cliff, that is. It's like taller than your player character. And then it's gone. Something that I didn't really appreciate when cliffs came out is they're actually blowing up a pretty substantial piece of landscape. Sufficient way to store nuclear fuel cells? Oh yeah. Like imagine the amount of energy storage that's sitting on this belt right now. That's a lot of energy right there. It's kind of ridiculous when you think about it. Like that's so much energy. But at the same time, that energy is so cheap that I can afford to just have this massive belt of it, just chilling there. $7.6K. That's gonna make the thing unhappy. So I added more inserters to this, so it might be... Now there it goes. You run out hundreds of hours later and you wonder where your power went. Totally didn't happen to you. Landfill. Oh, the uranium train wants in. I like how the bots, at least this time, are worrying about the important things. I swear I just heard the damaging things alarm. Sitting here thinking, why do I hear constant low-level rumble from the stream? I realise it's from your game. Fishy straight in. Cheese. Cheese. Hey, Spenny. You better be rescuing all the fishies. So the bots did murder some of them. I won't lie. Fortunately, but unfortunate but true. Some of the fish have been lost. Fish are finite, so they won't come back if I do remove them all. Might overload the storage at this rate. Pretty close, but not too terrible. 3.2k shiny rocks. I guess making all these extra fuel cells would help it along. Right, let's grab you. I'm going to do this in stages. Oh, hang on to that. There. That way I can prime the belt. Find it like iron patches. Yeah, it's finite in the same way that resources on the map in the map are finite. Like it's basically an infinite map with finite fish. The act of mining all of the fish is going to take you a while in itself. Oh yeah, it would be very finite if you started on a map with water in starting area only. Be very finite in that case. And usually oil. I feel like there's that's been prefaced with a usually because of will, hasn't it? Although oil has always had the option of being non-infinite. Third row? Oh, this is up to we're up to the fourth row nuclear. This is the fourth row. Yeah, we're down again. We're up to we need 20 gigawatts now. That should come down, admittedly. But yeah, we're increasing consumption again. So hello again. Oh look, the stack is being used. I like that row. At least that's happening. This is happening. Trying to make beacons. Put our undergrounds in. Grounds are in. Fuel cells are fuel selling. It's going to help with the shiny situation. Oh, your EK part showed up. Nice. Well, start slow enough. It's possible for it to decay below and cease to produce. Oh, that's like what happened with that bug in version 13 to me, where they all went down to 0. But I'm pretty sure you can change the... you can, in the ore setting, in the ore prototype settings, you can change it to non-infinite. Recovering from COVID? Yeah, that's not great. I can relate to that, though. COVID is not fun. Poor inserters. Am I back in? No. Ah, there you go. Oh wait, it's like 5 to 10, isn't it? Alright, let's do the next phase of the operation. Get this. For a change, I'm going to be a little bit more surgical in the construction. I also see, or I do realise there is a looming issue. While there's a looming issue, a rain coming on in with that raiding party. Welcome on everybody. How you doing? Hey Rain. What were you up to? How was your stream? You were doing some Factorio. No less. Were you doing Brave New Sea Block by chance? So I'm doing some Factorio as well. We're currently arguing with nuclear. We ran out of power again. This is an 8,100 science a minute megabase, for those just coming in from rain. And we haven't even really started yet, and we're already out of power again. Some of that old brave new sea block. Yeah, so everyone coming in from rain, this is my 8,100 science a minute megabase that I'm building. We have labs now, at least. I can actually say that some science is actually built. And we're working our way towards silos. The control units was done for a while. Yeah, so this is everything. This is all we've built for science so far. There's a lot of building to be done on this map. And right now, we are working on expanding nuclear. So, I'm gonna skip a row 2. I'll have a way around it. I'll work around it. Just turn around. Just close your eyes temporarily. Nuclear is bad, yes, for UPS, but it's an easy answer for now. Steel has very nearly finished. I think it's waiting on undergrounds, but they're being eaten by this. And I'll bet I didn't fix it, did I? No, I didn't. Fix it remotely. Just deconstruct it and then place it back, undo it. Yeah, it's I'm really just using it for the initial startup. Because it's really easy to produce nuclear. I'll probably keep it going until UPS is a problem, and then we'll see how we go from there. At some point, this insert is going to get rebuilt. So the reason why I did it that way is this. Where's my pointer? There it is. It has a wire connection on it, but when I undo it, it reconnects the wire. Soon, TM. Come on, bots. We believe in you. You have the power. Just watching it on the preview. This game, even though I'm running there it goes. Even though I have the refresh at 144 Hertz, this game still captures pretty well. Things considered. Okay, so that's producing again. You're warming up. Apparently I'm at 12.5 out of 20. It's quite a lot. 450. Yeah, it's not even 400 yet. Yeah, so bitrate back. Yeah, so everyone just close your eyes for a minute. Close your eyes. Close your eyes. Let me know when it's closed. Okay, eyes closed. Eyes closed, all good. Eyes are closed, then it's all good. Oh, look at that, the water just appeared. You can open your eyes now. Can't type with your eyes closed. That's perfect. That blind one's perfect. See, there was always water there, it's fine. Right, you're starting up. Up to 12.6. Why are there little tree islands? Yeah, about that. Ignore the stumps. Please ignore the stumps. I'll just copy these. Now that it's started up, I can safely paste these down, and then the bots can figure this out in their own time. Admittedly, hopefully, what it did place down is actually enough. Surgical display. Well, all I wanted to do was get the first row up, which is an extra 500 megawatts at least. Which probably isn't going to help me, come to think of it. Oh, it's rising. It's coming down. I think it might catch up. "160 words per minute. Oof. "19, 18. Oh, it's going down. It's wobbling. Used to type competitively. What was that typing game? There was a typing game that I seem to remember. Uh-oh. Oh. Oops. I remember there was this rail shooter sort of detective game. I remember seeing it years ago. Typing of the Dead, that's it. It was like a typing rail shooter. Typing the Dead was way too slow. I kind of pissed on the heat there a bit by putting the reactors down, but they should these extra reactors should very quickly make short work of that. For some reason, I was never amazing at typing. It's probably because the keyboards I used to learn to type on were terrible. And yeah. Well, they're at 900. Push that heat down at the upside down keyboards, probably. Come to think of it. Things like BBC Micros and Commodore 64s and even early IBM PCs and Apples were they were not good machines to type on. Was the enter key shaped like it's single row. It's equivalent to about 3 regular keys. High school typing teacher was very thorough. She demanded students have fingers type the correct keys. Edit type. Way was doing 130 at page 15, passed the final exam. Overall's down to 60. Was that the old ASDFJKL semicolon? It's close. How is peak power going down? Because things like roboports and beacons charging push it up. The more the deficit is, the more the demand, the need to satisfy it goes up. Frame rate, she also dock points if you use the wrong finger, the wrong key. Color-coded Model M. Yes, this will probably come down to like 14 or something once it's equalized. But yeah, as things charge up, it'll come down because this includes the need to charge like this thing's like all of these things satisfaction to charge them all up needs extra. It's pretty much always been that way. It's why satisfaction's kind of weird. Solar is better. Solar reigns supreme, but solar requires a lot of investment that I don't want to do right now. Right, that's enough of that. As I say, as I've mentioned, I'm going to need to change it over eventually. The keyboard will still have the bumps on the home rows? Yeah. J and... what is it? F, I think. Mine has it on J and F. This one has it on J and F as well. Yeah, because that's the home row. Or what are they? The home keys? The starter keys? Something like that? I can't remember the terminology. Oh wait, I didn't tell you to close your eyes. Never mind. Don't worry. You didn't see anything. Down infinite power. When we get to the end of the... like, when the base is fully up and running, then we'll start playing around with solar. That's the plan. Ah, there's more fish. Did I press enter at some point? Must have tapped enter. What was the old one? The old one was like 22 gigawatts, and as I say, it was like 6 or 8 UPS instant gain. 6 or 8 UPS, or was it time usage? Can't have been time usage. 6 or 8 time usage is basically 50% with 6 or 8 UPS. Main thing is it's a lot easier to set up nuclear at this point in the game. Time passages from popular against strangers, or as the bots. Artificial, let's race. It's so close. All it needs is these rows to heat up. 100. Come on. Yeah, man. We know you can do it. We believe in you. You have the power. Quite literally. Not to toot your own horn when you're on the high-speed typist. Seems like the kind of thing there's not a lot of demand for. I don't come across high-speed typists very often. Oops. That should be there. But why your laptop was running at 12 UPS. Apparently extended power saver mode and downclocked CPU to 800. Yeah. Was that while it was plugged in? Laptop power saving modes can be a bit of a challenge to wrestle against. Put it mildly. How far along are you? Oh, look at that, just hit satisfaction. See, that's gone down to below 13. But it took until about 13, 14 to get it to match it. Still very marginal. See, there's still 103 out of 103, which means it's Yeah, it's already pulling steam. Oh, it's here and there. It's very rough. Yeah, it's borderline. Plugged in, boosted back to 3 after you fixed it. Oh, yeah. Yeah, I was trying to do power saver while plugged in and it shouldn't. Time. Yeah. Ooh, someone, I see you've got a 88 beacon based on what we were doing earlier. I have to have a look at that. I might, in between, I think I might test the 88 and the full beacon design in between. See what the UPS difference is. I've sort of been assuming that the 8 full beacon one will be better in this particular case, but it may not be. No Steam storage? Yeah, we were actually talking about it before. You might as well, like, there's no real need for Steam storage because you either have enough or you don't. If you have Steam storage, you're inevitably going to run out. And you're just going to have an even bigger deficit. Whereas this is the fuel in equals fuel out. Now that should keep it going for at least a little while. Yeah, we were talking about it before. Plans to get a co-stream with Elon Musk. I don't know if that was going to happen. I somehow doubt that's going to happen. Is he actually streaming? Reddit subreddit cross post. The short answer is buffer. Well, it comes down to buffer be bad. The long-winded answer, as we were talking about before, is Steam storage is a very UPS inefficient way to store energy. Which is, at the end of the day, you're turning one form of energy into another form of energy, which is, in this case, nuclear fuel, but it could be steam from coal or whatever into steam. So you're not actually using the coal, you're just turning into another energy, but you're generating pollution and consuming energy as it works out to store that energy. Because you're mining it, you're spending inserters to put it in there to turn it into steam. It's kind of weird how it works out like that. You're actually spending energy in game UPS to store energy for the situation when you can't generate enough energy, which means you need to expand power to maintain that storage again. It's a really it's a really roundabout way of avoiding just building more power. You could say accumulators are a better way of storing it, and they are, because no UPS drain on that, because it's electric network. But the same thing basically applies. You're storing energy before you exceed your production to avoid building more capacity. Yeah, words. Enjoy logistics in Factorio. At the same time, like, the convention, like, the wisdom says, well, the optimum build says you don't use the buffer for Steam storage. At the same time, there's nothing stopping you doing it in your game. Just don't come saying it's the best way to do things. Like, that's really the point of contention, is that Steam or Steam storage, accumulated storage, for filtering out the ripples, it doesn't do anything. But there's nothing stopping. This is actually the qualifying thing that I should really say, is that don't let that tell you how to play the game. Like, if you want to use Steam storage, go right ahead. Just don't go on Reddit and then argue for hours and hours about how much better it is. Because that's where the point of contention is. Just relating it back to the thing about Reddit. Yeah, it's just a roundabout way of avoiding building more of what you actually need. But as I say, like, I've done it before. I did it with the first nuclear builds that I played around with. I went through Steam storage, then accumulator storage, and I had automatically incrementing reactors. So you can certainly do it, just as I say, like don't jump on Reddit saying this is the way you should do it. Because it really isn't. Someone is wrong on the internet. How dare they? Remember how I was doing combinators here and then biters attacked? Ah. In the eye there. Something in the eye. Now that you think of it, I don't think I've ever owned an Intel 14 nanometer. XKCD about. Of course there is. Neil. I had an idea of doing this thing. U T greater than 0 output E outputs T so you go into there, you go into there. Now I go to calculator because I need to go, so 120 seconds by 60 is 7,200. Suppose a good, I don't know. Yeah, 7,300. Then when U D is greater than 7,300, output D. Actually, just make that 8,000 because we'll just keep on outputting D. I actually need it to latch as well, realistically. Well, this will be the first prototype anyway. Find the timer on D. So this is meant to time out the train. T greater than 0 output T. T. No, that doesn't work. I need more. I need to gate T so that it only turns on when the train's, so it needs to start counting when the train's there. Let's pull that back out again. So D is basically the overall go signal. I might change that to input count as well. That is an excellent question, Madzuri. So it has a timeout condition, but the flaw with using this is time or circuit. So if this train is sitting here and it has no requests, in fact I can show you. So if I give it no requests, the counter's still counting. So it's got no, it has nothing to do right now, but the clock is still ticking. I need this clock to tick, start counting, if it's doing something. So what happens is, if it has requests, it just zooms off straight away. That's the problem. Actually right there. Well, that's a different problem, but yeah. So that's why I'm doing a combinator timer. Inactivity, same thing. Because if there's no request, it'll just sit inactive for an unspecified, like it could be there for a good amount of time. Try inactivity anyway. Well, let's try it. I'm pretty sure I did it already once though. Let's give it 20 seconds. I should probably recall it as well. Hey, how am I? I'm doing pretty good. It's about all Nightbot's good for. I mean, all it does is ever-present commands. Can't even honk. So you can't even do that. Completely different bot has to do that. I feel like the balance on that is off. Do I even record those? I don't think I don't think those get recorded actually. Train. Don't have that. Who's on train? I don't even know what that would sound like. How's power looking? Edging very hard. Where is it? Oh, 103 or 103 again. Means I'm eating steam. Nope, it's barely ahead. Oh no, 101 or 103, never mind. So you, yeah, it's still timing out. Could do and, but these are the conditions to tell it to go. Let's change it back to time passed, I think. Yeah, so that's why I'm thinking circuit solution. The problem with the AND is that it has to wait for the circuit to be met, which it may not necessarily be met, as well as... So, for the circuit to be met, it needs to remove all the trash, it needs to receive all supplies, and... else, I can't remember what it is already. Like, that's the trash one, that's the supply one. Actually, I think that is it. Greater than 2... Yeah, no? Great. 3. What's the third one? Third one's for something. Oh, the third one is a request exists. Third one is request exists. Otherwise, these two just always these two satisfy if there's no those two just instantly satisfy if there's no request. So it needs one to say that if a request exists. What amount per item and how many items do you request at most? I try and limit it to a few hundred. Collectively, across all of them, it will add up. So I've got like 200, I think. Modules across all the bases. 200. Nick Fizz? Nicky Fizz. Thank you for that. Prime sub. I appreciate that. Show some love and time for Nicky Fizz. Throwing down that Prime sub. Been a lot of primes this month. I mean, it's not surprising. September and all. And welcome on in to the koala community, Nicky Fizz. Well, that sounds so seedy. You now have access to the best koala emotes on Twitch. Hope you enjoy them and make good use of them. And you can, and even on top of that, you can use them anywhere. Yeah, so that one's satisfied on trash. That one is waiting for it's waiting for a reactor and turbine. 3 conditions for your supply train. No request, but pickup needed. Requesting item satisfied or period of inactivity. No request, but pickup. So pickup needed, requests items satisfied, or period of inactivity when requesting items, or train full. That's one that I don't have is train full. Because train full's a hard one to judge. That'll be more or less the same as a timeout. Yeah, it's waiting on reactors and turbines. I don't know, I have to think about it a bit more. I might... When requests are active, I might disable these inserters as long as requests are active. I'm not sure, but the problem is these chests might get overloaded. Anyway, I need to go get some lunch, so I think I'm going to leave it there for today.